Cowboys probably know, and maybe they've touched base, and they're aware of some of these situations. And most likely these guys have not been signed for a reason, and they probably won't be signed until after the draft. So
they sound like Band-Aids.
Yeah, exactly. To where
they're not steals, they're Band-Aids.
Yeah, if they were to not come away with a guard in round one, they could probably go ahead and still sign one of these guys and just have them as a placeholder.
Okay, let's call them what they are. These are great value signees.
Yeah, they'd be a one-year placeholder. Eric Flowers is on this list. I can't stand him.
Me neither. When he was with the Giants, he sucked.
No need to even discuss. Quinton Spain's an interesting name. Now, he was in Cincinnati the past 2 years, okay? And I understand that. That's probably going to be like, oh my gosh, he was a member of the Bengals? Well, that offensive line was terrible. Well, at this point, you're not looking at stars.
No.
To sign.
Great value from Walmart.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're putting this into perspective. He was the starting left guard, and he was one of the better linemen that they had. Wasn't amazing. But he's a guy that could start for you and probably be an upgrade to what you had at times last year as a left guard spot. But the other two options are the better options here that I'm going to name to you.
Okay.
One's a name that I've mentioned before on the show.
Doug Free?
No, Doug Free's too old now.
You say that. You don't know.
Well, who knows? Trey Turner.
When you brought up Eric Flowers, I thought about Doug Free. I'm like, they both played at the same time.
Trey Turner last season started for the Steelers. Now, the good news about Turner is he would be a cheap guy. And, well, Stephen Jones loves cheap guys.
That's this whole deal.
Be about 1 year's, maybe $3 million. He's been a former Pro Bowler. I loved him coming out of the draft. And certainly is a guy that you add him next to a Tyron Smith at a left guard. Trey Turner's not a bad option for you if you just need a placeholder there for a year. Or even it's just insurance as a backup guard. You just feel better about the position.
Here's what's so amazing to me about how they're doing this shortcut Band-Aid great value thing. You've got a quarterback you're trying to protect. Why would you go about it like this?
Well, you know, the whole offseason's been bizarre to me, CA, because you're in a conference that is super winnable. You're in a division that if your quarterback's any damn good, you should win it by just showing up, to be completely honest with you. Your division's that damn bad. Like, your quarterback should easily, just because you have a functional quarterback.
Exactly.
You should win 9 games, and that should win you the division.
Yes.
Because Jalen Hurts is not very good.
Nope.
Okay? Daniel Jones is horrible.
Yep.
And Carson Wentz, we've seen what that is.
Correct.
So
and he will get hurt.
The rest of the division isn't any damn good when it comes to quarterback. So if Dak Prescott is good, then the Cowboys should be fine in the division. So then you look at the rest of the conference, and there's always a team that overperforms. But in the reality, you've got the Rams and the Bucks.
That's
you got two teams.
And maybe Green Bay.
You played with the Bucks last year, and the Rams are a team that certainly had their Jekyll and Hyde moments a year ago. And in Green Bay, you're right. And Green Bay's lost a lot. But when you have Aaron Rodgers, you're always going to have a shot.
Right. But it's not the AFC.
But in Green Bay's not what they were. I mean, they just lost their best offensive weapon in Devontae Adams.
Did. And their best pass rusher.
That conference is there for the taking.
It's there for the taking. It's not the AFC or even the AFC East or West. If you were in the AFC, we could understand him being timid.
So, the thinking of this offseason for them to have gone from, oh, man, we had a completely disastrous December and then just got bullied in the playoff game to now, oh, we think we're farther than we were when we were, just ripping through teams and we're 6-1 and we were dominating in October and going into Thanksgiving we're feeling really good about ourselves. It's a weird bit to me. This offseason should have been about let's take advantage of this moment.
That's right.
And let's go all in.
Yep.
Instead of p-foot around and lose a bunch of talent and not improve whatsoever.
And then say...
And now there's a bunch of question marks, and your fan base is super annoyed and fed up and wondering, do you even give a damn about winning?
Exactly. And then you're going to tell us, well, on the other side of the draft, we're going to get some great value Band-Aids from Walmart.
You're not going to get a Micah Parsons who comes in and is a defensive player of the year candidate every year as a rookie.
Exactly.
You're not going to get that kind of rookie impact every single year. If you do, amazing, but it's just not realistic to think of.
Did I tell you what my theory was about why they don't go after free agents? Now that Jerry's not the one doing it.
What's that?
Stephen Jones does not know how to negotiate. Let me explain. Every contract that sucks on this franchise the last few years, Stephen has negotiated it, right? So he doesn't know what he's doing. He gets his butt whooped by the agents. And then the one that they had to salvage, Jerry saved the Tank Lawrence one. Okay, Jerry's a closer. His whole reputation from the 90s on Wildcatter, he might overpay somebody, but he'll go fix it by overpaying somebody else. He'll just do it that way. Not Stephen. Stephen doesn't try to go through free agency because he will lose the negotiation. He doesn't even do a fair He doesn't even do a fair contract. So he says it's kind of like somebody that doesn't know how to play poker. If he doesn't know how to play poker, he's not going to play. So he doesn't play. He says, you know what? We'll wait till the second or third week of free agency. Oh, we're past that. We're just going to go all in on the draft because that's Will McClay and the scouts and even Dan Quinn. And now he's like, well, we're going to go to these Band-Aids because seriously, he's like the guy that gets his ass handed to him when he played poker over the last few years. He goes, I'm not even going to play anymore. I'm just going to blame it on the cap.
Yeah, and that's what he's doing. And guess what you have to show for it? An empty trophy case.
Yep. Well, there's a different way at the end of the day.
Yeah. Well, at the end of the bleeping day, you've been doing it the same way for 26 years.
No. It's just Stephen. Stephen hasn't been doing it 26 years.
Oh,
the
10
Cowboys.
Years? However Stephen's been in.
Jerry was doing it.
What
it is was driving Cowboy fans crazy is Jerry was doing it one way, which was really wild and out. It was like a roller coaster ride. And here's Stephen going the completely opposite way. You should use the best of both. You shouldn't just say, we'll never use free agency. Or Jerry going way too far into free agency and screwing over the draft. And one year he didn't even care about draft picks. He said, we'll just trade down every year. Every round, rather. All I'm saying is they're going opposite extremes. And all the Cowboys have to show for it is...
That's what they always do, right?
All they have to show for it is 3 playoff victories.
So frustrating.
This century.
It's horrible.
So I digress, but
it's really horrible.
We're only holding their feet to the fire.
No, you
we're
should.
Not trying to be a downer.
And they deserve
we're
it.
just saying
5-7-1 can't overlook San Fran. That's the mistake we made last year. And I agree with you. The Niners roster is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not sure what's happening at quarterback there. Trey
We don't even know if Jimmy
Lance is a
there.
little bit of a question mark for me. That's the only reason why I'm not putting the Niners into that contender category. But you could very well be right. Maybe the Niners are.
And we don't know about
one of those
their
teams.
Great running back. He may be gone.
Oh, Debo, yeah. I mean, Debo wants out of there. That's a real thing. Debo wants to go to Miami and be with Mike McDaniel. He does not want to go back.
And McDaniel,
to
for those who don't know, was the offensive coordinator for
yes, in San Francisco. By the way, the last name is Darrell Williams, who actually is a really good guard, was with Buffalo, and Buffalo had to release him to save some money. They saved $6.3 million. Now, he might be the name that would count a little bit more money to sign because he's actually the best name of this bunch. But that would be a legitimate name if you were to sign him. You actually have a pretty good left guard if you don't draft one for this year, and you can feel pretty good about it.